This video, we're going to be talking specifically about virtual charter schools. And virtual charter schools are obviously those charter schools where students are enrolled in virtual classes. Virtual charter schools under the statute have to be district authorized. There are no 2R or 2X virtual charter schools. So those are district authorized schools. There's a specific provision in the Wisconsin Charter School Statute, and it's 11840 sub 8, that is specific to virtual charter schools. Know that that provision in the Wisconsin statutes does have obligations that are a little bit different than your bricks and mortar charter schools. So if you are establishing a virtual charter school, be sure you are very familiar with those additional provisions in 118.40 sub 8. Some of the provisions in there that I'm just going to highlight and talk about briefly here so that you know, because these are the provisions that DPI in particular pays a lot of attention to. Your charter school has to have instructional staff that are responsible for all of the following for each pupil. And one of the reasons for these provisions is because the Department of Public Instruction wants to be sure that a virtual charter school isn't homeschooling. It is an actual public school where you have instruction provided by licensed teachers. So there's a provision in the statute that says an instructional staff member has to improve learning by planned instruction, has to diagnose learning needs, prescribe content delivery through class activities, assess learning, report outcomes, and evaluate the effects of the instruction. So while a parent at home can be assisting a student in a virtual charter school and doesn't need to be licensed to be helping at home, that virtual charter school student has to have licensed instructional staff that provide instruction, that do the assessments of the students, the grades of the students, that report those and evaluate the effects of the instruction, so that when that student is being promoted from grade to grade, you have a licensed instructor who's making those decisions. Additional requirements that are specific to charter schools, virtual charter schools, they have to provide educational services to pupils for at least 150 days each school year. They have to ensure that their teachers are able to provide direct pupil instruction for at least the applicable number of hours that are specified in the statute applicable to others, to school districts, the 121. They have to ensure that their teachers respond to inquiries from pupils and parents or guardians by the end of the first school day following the day on which the inquiry was received. So there are very specific provisions. They have to ensure that a parent advisory council is established and that parents are informed in writing how they can contact the members of the District Board of Education, the superintendent, the governance board, and members of the Parent Advisory Council. Curriculum. Parents cannot choose unilaterally the curriculum that their students use in a virtual charter school. The charter contract is required to include a description of the educational program and may specify that there are multiple curricula, and may provide for parents to work with school staff to select curriculum from those specified. But the charter school contract can't just say parents will be choosing curriculum. It has to be curriculum that is reviewed by the virtual charter school instructors and determined if that is appropriate for students in the virtual charter school.